Welcome to FRC Media News for Thursday, January 7th, 2021. I'm Keith Tebow. This week, during yesterday's insurrection at the U.S. Capitol, newly inaugurated Congressman Jake Auchincloss provided updates through social media. We'll share what he had to say. We get COVID updates as the vaccine rollout continues, and local bars and restaurants may soon be getting a break on their liquor licenses. All that and more coming up. It was quite the start to the congressional career of Massachusetts 4th District Representative Jake Auchincloss as insurrectionists stormed the U.S. Capitol yesterday and delayed the certification of Joe Biden and Kamala Harris as the next president and vice president of the United States. Congressman Auchincloss used social media to keep his constituents abreast of the situation at the Capitol. Shortly after 5:30 p.m. yesterday, he gave this update on the safety of himself and his staff.
This is Representative Jake Auchincloss. I'm with my staff in the Longworth office building. We are sheltering in place. Because of physical distancing requirements, I was not on the House floor at the time of the altercations with protesters. But I want to underscore to everyone in the Massachusetts 4th that I am more resolved than ever that when these proceedings resume, we will certify the Electoral College results that will make Joe Biden and Kamala Harris the 46th president and vice president of the United States. This is a dark day for our democracy, and it may delay or disrupt these proceedings, but it is not going to stop us from upholding and defending the Constitution of the United States.
When Congress returned to continue the certification of the electoral vote, the congressman came back to assure residents that Congress's work would not be hindered.
I'm here in the Capitol building in front of one of the statues that adorn the halls. You can see here behind me just some of the detritus left by the protesters who ransacked this temple of democracy. I just left the House floor having cast my vote against the objections to the slate of electors from Arizona. This dark day for democracy is not going to define or derail our institutions. We are going to ensure the transfer of power, and Joe Biden and Kamala Harris will be the next leaders of this country.
Early Thursday morning, Congress did certify the Electoral College results. Now, the latest update on the COVID-19 pandemic. Governor Charlie Baker this week announced that the rollout of the COVID-19 vaccine will continue, with first responders slated to get vaccinated as early as next week. He also made it a priority that those over 75 can receive the vaccine soon. In Fall River, Mayor Paul Coogan says the local effort on vaccine rollout continues.
We're working in conjunction with the MS. We're going to start our first batch of first responder vaccines. I think it's at Bristol Community College on Monday. We have had a few vaccines given out in some of our nursing homes. We have an orderly, systematic system ready to go at BCC. They have freezers there. They have the facilities, and we're going to start bringing people in on Monday. And all we need is some more vaccines to get going, to open it up to all the citizens. But right now, we're only in phase 1, which is obviously the first responders and the high risk.
Mayor Coogan also says the latest infection numbers in Fall River continue to be alarming, but in line with the region and the state. Public schools will remain in the modified hybrid model of learning for at least another week. Since the onset of the pandemic, the United Way of Greater Fall River has been a leader in organizing and funding local organizations serving those in need. Executive Director Kim Smith says once the state was shut down on March 13th, the United Way began forming a collaboration of local social service organizations to meet the emergency needs of the region. 9 months later, the collaboration continues with an eye toward being proactive rather than reactive.
What's different is that the collaboration among our nonprofit partners, business and community partners, as well as our legislators and our government officials are all really working together to collaborate on solutions to what is happening. We're trying to anticipate things that might be coming down the pike in the spring and be proactive versus reactive. So what began as a sort of a community think tank that was meeting every week on Tuesday mornings, we called it Let's Talk on Tuesday, and it was really bringing together all of those partners that I just mentioned, is still ongoing. We're meeting every other Tuesday now, and we are continuing to address gaps that are identified out there in the community, new needs, old needs, what is working and what isn't, and how we can best address the solutions to whatever it is that is happening now.
The organizations servicing the community during the pandemic have focused on the issues of food security and helping those impacted meet basic needs. The United Way has provided support through the allocation of thousands of dollars raised through its United We Help COVID-19 Relief Fund.
We collectively raised close to $750,000, and that is in partnership with folks like the South Coast Community Foundation and local business partners, and many, many, many individuals who stepped up and said, gee, what can I do to help? We all want to do something, and what is it that we can do? So a lot of that, about $250,000 of that went to United We Help Feed Fall River, and we served close to 65,000 meals over the course of time. We just did 2 rounds during the holidays, Thanksgiving and Christmas. The great part of that was that not only did we serve over 200 families a week, and the average family was about 4 people or so, but we engaged local restaurants to actually provide the warm meals. And so sort of stimulating the economy, keeping people employed, and keeping it local, really local people helping local people. The rest of it is really towards supporting those organizations that are providing the basic services. Again, some of it emergency response, like rent and utility assistance that maybe individuals wouldn't qualify for under some of the other stimulus funds that are out there. Basic needs, coats, anything from coats and clothing to food and shelter to, some of the different sort of shifting in job training, believe it or not, educational opportunities that are out there. So we've given 2 rounds so far of funding to community partners, and we have a 3rd round pending.
Recent approvals by Governor Charlie Baker and Congress have set up South Coast small businesses negatively impacted by COVID-19 to take advantage of another round of financial assistance. Just prior to Christmas, the Baker administration announced a $668 million business relief program offering grants of up to $75,000 to be used for employee wage and benefit costs, space-related costs, and debt service obligations. One South Coast Chamber co-CEO Rick Kidder says the program is administered through the Massachusetts Growth Capital Corporation's COVID-19 Small Business Program.
That is for businesses that have existed prior to 2020. So you have to actually have been in business during 2019 and have some track record. But then there are some grants that are available. These are not loans; they're grants that are available through Mass Growth Capital. So this is something that's actually really exciting for small businesses if they can navigate the process, which is now available on the website. We recommend that they do so because small business needs that support now. Part of that target in terms of their priorities involves things like hotels, restaurants, event companies, all of those companies that were actually either shut down or nearly shut down as a direct result of the pandemic. So they've worked hard on trying to isolate those companies, gyms that have been so affected by it. There's a complete list on the website of what their priorities are. And I recommend any small business go in, take a look through that and see how they apply.
Late last month, President Trump approved a $900 billion COVID stimulus bill that also includes money for small businesses. Mr. Kidder says the new federal funding will be targeted to those truly in need.
There are some companies that actually did okay during the pandemic, and I think there's going to be some means testing attached to these new dollars. These rules are still being promulgated now, so we don't have all of the information yet. When we do, we're going to have another SBA webinar through the chamber which anyone can attend, but it's just to give them an opportunity about applying for these new dollars. Right. I know that they'll be able to, one of the things that they're going to be looking at is whether or not the company suffered to the extent like 25% threshold, 25% losses of what they were expected to make. So I think that's one of those things that'll actually make it targeted towards those companies that need it most.
Kidder and co-CEO Michael O'Sullivan say local businesses saw mixed results this past holiday season, with those able to sell online faring better than ones who rely more on in-store foot traffic. O'Sullivan believes as conditions improve with the onset of the COVID vaccine, consumer behavior will dictate how soon local businesses recover.
The vaccine's going to help. It's not going to help it's not going to be a miracle worker, but it's going to help. But part of the real challenge is going to be that once people have the vaccine and there's much more vaccine distribution out there, bigger challenge is going to be it's just going to be the emotional state of people. Are they, even though they want to get out there, are they going to be willing to get out there? Are they going to be concerned about getting out there and gathering and going in more and more stores and just in general gathering in gatherings of 50, 100 people? I don't think that's going to be back to normal it might not be till actually a year from now. I don't want to sound like, a pessimist, but I just think realistically it's going to take a while for people to get back to normal.
Local restaurants and bars may soon receive financial relief from the city of Fall River. Mayor Coogan is asking the Fall River Licensing Board to consider a 25% refund of 2021 liquor license fees.
We had conversations with members of the city council. They put a resolution in a couple of weeks back, but we were still looking at how it was going to shake out financially. And obviously those places were closed for 3 months. So if that's 25% a year, you couldn't do any business. So let's try to be fair with these people. One-time rebate, we can afford it, and we'll get our businesses back up and running when this is done. But right now, I just thought it was the common sense thing to do. And the reason we went with those fees is because they are so much higher than the traditional fees. We have a number of $50 and $100 fees, but like our fee for bars and licenses, almost $3,500. So those people put a significant investment into the city, and we were just trying to make them partially whole for those months they were down.
We'll have more FRC Media News right after this.
Here are some job descriptions on the latest hot jobs list from the Mass Hire Fall River Career Center. Teacher, Kinder Care Learning Center, located at 620 North Main Street, is looking for a full-time teacher responsible for implementing a curriculum creating a safe, nurturing environment where children can play and learn. Job number 143-94338. Pharmacist, St. Anne's Hospital, located at 795 Middle Street, is in need of a full-time pharmacist, responsible for the purchase of pharmacy inventory to ensure availability. Job number 143-95800. Housekeeper, South Point Rehab Center, located at 100 Amity Street, is seeking a full-time housekeeper with knowledge of housekeeping procedures, techniques, equipment, and cleaning supplies. Job number 143-94128. CVS, located at 550 Pleasant Street, is in need of the following full and part-time positions. Retail Store Associate, job number 143-89551. Pharmacy Technician, job number 143-90637. Amazon, located at 1180 Innovation Way, is in need of the following full and part-time positions. Operations Manager, job number 143-85764. Transportation Associate, job number 143-86708. For more information on these or other positions, visit Mass Hire JobQuest at jobquest.dcs.eol.mass.gov or call the Mass Hire Fall River Career Center at 508-730-5000.
Welcome back. The city of Fall River has announced that over the next week it will be providing pickup of Christmas trees for disposal. The Department of Community Maintenance will be picking up trees as part of its weekly trash disposal schedule. Residents may also dispose of trees at the DPU yard on Lewiston Street free of charge during normal business hours. Trees must be free of decorations and coverings. If you have any questions at all, reach out to the Department of Community Maintenance at 508-324-2568. The Fall River City Council this week voted unanimously to re-elect Councilors Cliff Ponte and Pam LaLibby-LeBeau as President and Vice President of the Council for 2021. Following the vote, Councilor Ponte expressed his appreciation for his colleagues' support and looked forward to what lies ahead for the Council this coming year.
I want to again thank my colleagues for your support for another year to serve as Council President. Obviously, 2020 was a year that we look back at as being a very challenging year, a year that we haven't been able to plan or we didn't know it was coming. 2021, we don't know what the future holds for it, but I will say that I think the future holds for a city council, a body of 9 members who really care about moving the city forward, really care about making some long-lasting changes in this community, and I'm happy to be a part of it with you all. So thank you once again for your support. I'm honored to serve this honorable body as your council president, and I'm looking forward to continuing to do that for what hopes to be a better 2021. So thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Businesses in downtown Fall River have been engaged in a project to develop growth opportunities within the district through a partnership with the state's Transformative Development Initiative, or TDI. TDI is a program administered through the state's economic development arm, Mass Development, to help grow commercial development within the Commonwealth's gateway cities. Fall River applied to the program in 2018 and was accepted in 2019 with a focus on strengthening business development along South Main Street. Fall River TDI fellow Jim McKeague says the role of TDI is to listen to and work with the community to devise ideas to improve economic development. Fall River's initiative includes participation from those in local government and the private sector. He says the goal is simple: to drive more people to visit and patronize downtown business.
Less about coming downtown as sort of a destination for a particular location, right? I'm coming down here to go to Alexandra's, or I'm coming down to go to this other location, but to really think about it as a district, as a place that you would want to come and you might not have a particular agenda, but there's a lot going on and there's a lot to do. It's sort of a vibrant neighborhood. So really. How do you put a vision together around that neighborhood? And so, early on, the focus was on having, more people living downtown, having more businesses open up downtown. There was a lot of focus on cleanliness and quality of life. So, these were some of the things that we started, trying to work on early on in the process. One of the things that was clear to us was just the enormous potential within the physical environment. So creating a lot of physical improvements and incentivizing some of our partners in the businesses on the street to invest in the physical appearance of the street. So whether that's storefront improvements, streetscape improvements, there's a number of things that could be done. Just cleaning up the area and then addressing some, as I said, some of the deeper concerns that may exist there as well.
Mr. McKeague says the city has existing successful retail and dining options from which to build upon. He also says the future investment in local arts and culture will help bolster activity and interest within downtown. Patty Rigo runs We Love Fall River and helps the marketing and organization of TDI activities with business members downtown. She says local businesses are engaged in working together for the betterment of the entire district.
I think when a lot of people talk about downtown, they used to talk about how, that used to be a destination on the weekends and families would go. And there just needs to be more of a concerted effort between the businesses to kind of help to improve the overall. It's not just about you and your business now. This is a district. And the more that each business can help each other and kind of come together, I think that people are starting to see, especially when the pandemic hit. I mean, you need the help of your neighbors. You need the help of your community. And that was displayed. We did some food relief efforts downtown, but I mean, that's just one way in which people collaborated together. And I think another way we're trying to get people to collaborate together to raise the optics and to just raise the profile of the district as a downtown district, not just Alexandra's or not just I go to TJ's, but I go downtown and I'm going to stay and I'm going to have something to eat and whatnot. And I think one of the things that most important that we're trying to do right now is gain some traction for a downtown small business association. And I think that by empowering business owners to create these initiatives and take a stake in these initiatives, it's going to make them more invested in downtown. So, I think people see a lot of potential. It's just that first step of getting people to band together.
The TDI program connects local business to state economic development grants to sustain and grow their operations. Since the pandemic hit last March, that money has been used to keep many downtown businesses afloat. We'll wrap up this edition of FRC Media News right after this.
Welcome to Hot Dogs and Cool Cats. Today we have Brooklyn. Brooklyn is a 2-year-old pitty. As you can see, she's incredibly adorable. Brooklyn was surrendered to us by no fault of her own. She loves attention. She kind of likes toys, but she doesn't really know what to do with them. Sit. As you can see, she knows how to sit. Stay. Come. So she can stay and sit, but that's about it. She doesn't know how to shake or anything, but she's eager to learn. She does like to jump up, as you can see. Brooklyn loves to do frog legs. We go to foreverpaws.com, fill out an application, and then once it's approved, you can come on down to Forever Paws at 300 Linwood Street and check out Brooklyn.
Today with us we have Beans. She's 12 years old. She was an owner surrender. She's very, very sweet. She's easygoing. You can hold her. She likes to cuddle. She gives you the headbutts. She gets along with other cats. I think she's just all around great. You can do anything to her. You can pet her anywhere. You can carry her around. She just wants to be loved. But her right ear does have quite a big chip in it. It's not from being ear tipped, like she was feral. It's off to the side. So it could have just been an accident when she was younger. It's very unique, adds character. It doesn't bother her or anything like that, but it definitely makes her a little even more special. If you want to come down and meet Beans, we are located at 300 Linwood Street in Fall River, Massachusetts, because I know Beans would love to meet you.
That's all for this edition of FRC Media News. Please check out our website at frmedia.org for all the latest news and information. FRC Media News airs Thursdays at 6 p.m. and Fridays at 5:30 p.m. For all of us here at FRC Media News, I'm Keith Tebow. Have a great week, and we'll see you next Thursday.